This is our third battle in the War for Vigilus. So we've had two already, so this is happening at more or less the same time as the last battle we had in Mortwald. So the War of the Beasts now rages across the planet. We're fighting on the other side of the world now in Megaborealis. This is a Mechanicus held false continent where they mine night and day for Blackstone, whatever the consequences, leading to violent earthquakes and of course a repressed populace, which is common across Vigilus as a whole. The Orks are on a rampage everywhere on the planet with the collapse of the Psi Shield. Reports of uprisings all over Vigilus, and panic and desperation are rife everywhere. So the Mechanicus are now set to defend Megaborealis, but the mining of course still continues relentlessly. The well-laid defences of the Mechanicus were put in place, but they've been undone by hidden forces, been sabotaged, so the Orks have just been able to get through the cities with relatively low casualties for the Orc standards. So the Mechanicus are on the back foot in Megaborealis and must try and reclaim some ground now, and they've got to fight the Orcs and the hidden threat that has now revealed itself to be the Genestealer Cults of Megaborealis. So for this battle we're going to go for a bit of a hybrid game. It's going to be a narrative game slash match play. We do like to include some match play rules, and we're using a match play mission as well. So we're using the new chapter approved book. We're going to play the Eternal War mission 4 pillars. So there's 4 objectives on the board, and they're pretty much mirrored. So the big X across the table, then the 15 inches from the centre. So there's one in the distance, there's one just up front, and on the other side almost the same, one there and one just in the distance there. So these are the main objectives. So what you've got to do is you've got to control more than the opponent and you gain a point. If you control them all, you get more points. So it's all about holding ground here. And then we've got an additional extra rule in this for this mission. So again, still in the new chapter approved, we're using the infestation rules found in the Urban Battle Zones page. So we've modified this a little bit, so it gives some suggestions here what you can have. There's things like beasts, swarms, genestealers, lictors, that sort of stuff, but instead we're going to use the genestealer stuff that I've got painted for the Genestealer Cult, and we've already deployed these. So what you do is you normally put down an extra 2 markers in this case, and then you randomly have these pop up on the objective markers at the start of the game. So how these are going to work, we're going to do a modified version of this because they're a different sort of breed. These are set up where they are. They're not going to move unless you come in within 12 of them, and then they'll attempt to charge you. They will shoot at the nearest unit, nearest visible enemy unit, just like they normally do. So what they do, let's say the Mechanicus had the first turn, they would have their turn, the Orcs would have their turn, then there would be a third turn, and that'll be the Genestealer Cult's turn. So they won't move, but they will shoot if you're near them. And if you come near 12, like I say, they will try and charge you. And in addition to this, to make the infestation rules really come to life, at the end of the battle round, you both roll a dice, and if the combined total is less than 6, another Genestealer unit, cult unit, will turn up via deep strike style rules, and the winner of the roll-off will choose where that deep striking unit will go. So this is not just the only units that could be here. They could have more reinforcements arrive during the game, but these have been siphoning off the Prometheum, and they've been caught by both sides. Going to have a bit of a collision here, so that in the centre they're going to have to fight their way out. So for the units, we've got a more close range unit operating over here. There's 2 mining lasers in there. No, sorry, these are seismic cannons in these ones, and then the shotguns and 2 flamers. There's a 16-man unit here, 2 mining lasers, 2 grenade launchers, and then auto guns across the squad. This one's very similar, except it's a 10-man unit with 2 webbers and with auto guns. Okay, and you may see the 2 Genestealer Cult transports, the rock grinders. These are just service vehicles for the time being. They're unmanned, so they're just serving as terrain for the moment. Right, there's 1500 points of Adeptus Mechanicus, so we've got a battalion. So that means we've got 5 command points and 3 for being battle forged. So we'll start with the HQs. We've got a Tech Priest Dominus, he's got a Volkite Blaster, and he's got a Macro Stubber, He's got a relic as well. It's Anzian Pseudo-Genitor, so we're going to use that for the cat unit. That's representing, so he goes around and zaps people. He is the Warlord, so he's got the Warlord trait for Mars, because this is a Mars detachment, of course. His second in command is the Tech Priest Engineer, and he's just as you see. So we've got troops now. We've got 2 units of Vanguard, identical units, 2 plasmas in there. We've got the Data Tether, Power Sword for the leader, and the Arc Pistol, that's what it's called. So these 2 units are identical. Got a unit of Rangers, there's an Arc Rifle in there, and Blast Pistol and Power Maul, and an Omnispecs. Last troops, we've got the Destroyers, Plasmas, and the Flamers for those. Infiltrators with the Taser Guards and Flechette Blasters here. Priests, Electro Priests, Castellan Robots with the hand-to-hand variant and the Flamers on top, and the Data Smith with them. And then for the heavies, we've got the Onaga Dune Crawler with a neutron laser and the Stubber. So we've got another detachment, and it's House Raven comes to aid the Mechanicus. 2 armigers, exactly the same, Melter Gun and Thermal Spear.
Okay, so what we've got here, 1500 points of Bad Moon's Orks. It's a battalion. We have 8 command points to play with there. Got 3 characters at the front here. Big Mech with the custom force field leads the force. He has the Bad Moon's trait, Warlord trait, which is the best armor Teeth can buy. Gives him a 4+ invulnerable save, and he's got dead shiny shooter in his hand there. He's got a Grot Oiler. Next to him we have another Big Mech. He has a teleport blaster on his back, and he has the Gobshot Thunderbuss and a Grot Oiler. And back of those 2 we've got Pain Boy and another elite choice there is the Mega Knobs, and they've got rockets, not lipsticks. And then behind those we've got some tank busters, 5 of those, and we've got a bomb squig. And those 2 units will probably be sharing the ride at the back there, Ork truck. And over here we've got 2 units of looters with def guns, 5 in each, and then the Morkanaut that has the custom force field on the top and the weapons as you see displayed. And then we have 3 units of boys, each of them equipped with a knob with a custom rocket launcher, and of course the tank busters. 13 boys in each of the squads there, they've all got shooters. And then over here we've got the bikes, and the bikers are led by a knob with a big chopper. Because I've taken a extra shiny gubbins, I'm going to have to deduct 1 command point from the total there.
Right, so the Mechanicus won the roll-off to see who goes first, so they deploy the entire army first. But of course the Genestealer Cults do set up first, so both armies can counter-deploy against that, so that's the first thing that happens. So then we're just back on with normal kind of rules. So the Adeptus Mechanicus go down, so we've got the Armiger on the left here, we've got the robots on the left. They're going to try and take all of the incoming fire from the Genestealer Cult. A bit more firepower on this side, we've got the Destroyers, we've got the Vanguard unit down here, we've got the Warlord just behind them. The Rangers up top with their long range guns. More Vanguard here, ready to go out and take that objective if needs be, supported by the Priests. And then on the right we've got some more heavy hitters. We've got another Armiger, and we've got a Dune Crawler here with the neutron laser and the Tech Priest to try and keep it ship. And then ready to come in from Infiltrate are the aptly named Infiltrators. So there's a 5-man squad there ready to come out of the shadows. They're not the only ones, the Genestealer Cult, who can come out of the shadows. Okay, going from right to left with the Orks, we've got the Looters holding strong in this building. We've got the Morkanaut, and inside the Morkanaut is the Big Mech with the what's it called? The teleport blaster, that's what it's called. We've got the 5 bikes in the backfield, supported by a 10-man unit there, ready to go out, try and seize this objective. Going to put a lot of firepower on the nearest Genestealer Cult unit. Another big squad here and another big squad there, and in the centre is the Pain Boy and the custom force field from the big mech. And then on the far left we've got a mirroring squad of looters, so they will contribute their fire right across the board. They've got some tasty targets down the left here, and then off board they've chosen to teleport the truck, and on board the truck is 3 Mega Knobs and the Tank Buster unit. So the Mechanicus is scheduled to go first unless the Orks can steal the initiative, so we're going to
here we are.
Hope they don't get a 6 here on the big green dice. It's a 2, so Mechanicus will secure that first turn. Right, turn 1 movement for the Mechanicus. So just about everyone's moved, or advanced should we say. We'll go through the ones that have done so. So we've had the Armiger, he goes an extra 3, so 17 inches. He's going to put all of his melter shots on the building, see if we can shake the tree and get some looters to fall out. These are House Raven, don't forget, so they can advance and shoot unimpeded. The priests, they go up the road, they go full 6, so they're on their way. They're not tripping over the ropes today, they're moving quite fast. This side steps to the left, getting a better shot. Hopefully we can get that neutron laser firing at something tasty. The 2 Vanguard units, they advance, no real agenda for them, just taking up the ground in the centre. The Rangers, they just moved, they didn't advance of course, they plan on firing at the Genestealer Cults, try and take a few of their number down. The Destroyers, they advance up the road, in fact they don't advance, they just wheel slowly up the road to take shots at the bad moons coming down. And then the big machines here, they're going to try and take on a few of the Genestealer Cults here, try and take down their number, take a bit of sting out of them. They have got mining lasers on the gantries, they can hurt vehicles, it's no joke. So we're going to try and do them a bit of damage. And this Armiger is in range of the Morkanaut in the distance, so we're going to try and thermal spear him before he gets a shot. Okay, I forgot to say at the start of the turn, of course, we did do our canticles. We picked Shroud's Arm. It's the one that gives us the most benefit in the early stages. Going to open up the shooting phase with the Castellan robots first. We're going to do the 2 flamers up top. So these are really long range heavy flamers. So we've got 2d6 shots out of them both. And it's just a measly 4. Not very good from them. Strength 5 being 3s. Right, so we'll get 4 of them. At least it's a clean sweep. It's AP -1, so the Genestealer Cult are saving on 6. Sorry, 5s because they're in cover. So there's 3 casualties from the gantry. Right, we're going to move on to the Rangers now. So 8 galvanic rifles. Well, everyone's firing at the Genestealer Cults, but we've got 8 galvanic rifles. And we'll reroll 1s because we've got the Tech Priest Dominus just under there. He's got a 9-inch radius because of his Warlord trait. And we're getting all but 2. And then we're wounding on 3s. Any 6s are an extra AP. Right, so these are effectively going to ignore the cover, and these don't. So you've got 2 saves of 4 and 4 saves of 5. And so we've got another Genestealer Cult that's dead, and then these are on 5s, and there's another 3. So 4 Genestealers down in that volley. And then the Arc Rifle from the squad hits on a 3, gets a hit. Strength 6, only needing a 2 against these, which we do. It's AP -1, so saving on a 5 because you're in cover. No, so there's another one going down. Okay, we're going to go on to the Armiger now. He's going to fire the Thermal Spear at the Morkanaut in the background. And then we're going to do the Melter Gun up at the Genestealer Cult. So we'll do the Melter Gun first. We've hit, needs a 2. Oh. Survives the hairdryer. Right, so here comes the Thermal Spear, D3 shots. We're getting 2, and we're hitting on 3s. It's a long range. We do get the hits, and it's strength 8, so we're needing 4s, of which we get 1. Do we want to command point reroll that? No, we're just going to allow it. So, saving on an invulnerable 5 for the Morkanaut. He doesn't make it. Are you thinking about command point rerolling that, or are you just happy to have that? Okay, so it's going through the shield, and we get D6 damage. don't know what that was. It's a mystery dice. And it's only a 2. Right, do we use our command point reroll to get further? It's probably not worth it. He's got a big mech on board. He'll just fix him back up. Yeah, I've decided I'm not going to reroll that. I do it every game, just waste away my command points on first turn rerolls. I'm just going to try and not do it this time. Okay, next up to fight we had the destroyers firing the plasmas down the street there. Killed off 2 orcs. Not very good from them. Could have been more, but we'll take 2 orcs. Now we're going to move on to the Onega Dune Crawler. So we're going to fire all of our guns up into the building, try and get those 5 looters. So we're going to open up with the stubbers first, with the polite stubber. Just riddle you a bit. And no reroll ones, we're just out of range of the Dominus. 4s to wound, of which we get 3. So you've got saves of 4 against this because there's no AP. And he fails 2. Makes 1. So there's 2 looters down in that 5-man squad. They're expected to take a bit of a battering. Now we've got the neutron laser at them because we just don't have any other decent targets, so we might as well. Just 1 shot. And we've missed with it anyway. Okay, we're going to move on to the Armiger now. He's moved the 2 casualties, so we're not in range of our melter gun. We should have opened up fire with that first. Got too eager. So the thermal spear at the looters up top here. So how many shots are we getting? The full 3. This might wipe out the squad if he finds the target. Okay, that's a triple hit. Dare I say anything but 1s? Well, we do get a 1. But that's killed 2 orcs. There's no save there. AP -4. Just blows 2 straight out of the tree. There's only 1 left. Right, that's the end of the Mechanicus turn there. Just the long range guns making the impact. And it's time for morale check. So the remaining looter in the corner there, he's chosen to do insane bravery stratagem for 2 command points to keep him in the game. He doesn't want to give up first strike, so nothing going on there. And then the morale check to take for the Genestealer Cult here. They've lost 8 and the leadership 8, so they're going to have to roll a 1 to survive. Right, just one of them runs away. So the mining laser will probably be the one who stands, gets a shot off.
I should say so.
Okay, Orks turn 1 and they've started to move. So the Ork boys here, they've stepped forward to this objective, so they've claimed that. This unit's advanced a little bit to get the rockets in range of this knight. So these 2 units, no joke to the knight, there's 2 rockets in each squad, and Ork rockets are absolutely savage. The bikes over here, they've come to the left, and then this Ork boy unit, they've surged forward to get onto this objective. The big mech from out of the belly of the Morgonaut has got onto the objective as well. He's got the relic gobshot, and he's going to fire up at the Genestealer Cult, try and wipe them out. And of course the big one, the big yellow meanie, he's moved forward. He's going to try and put some shots down at the Mechanicus machines in that alley there. You can see the Castellan robots and the Armiger. And then of course we've still got the lingering looters on this side ready to shoot. Orc shooting phase, we've got the bikes at the back there. They're shooting at the Genestealer Cult up top, so they've already shot lots of dice, come out with 8 wounds against the Genestealers up top. Genestealer Cult. So we need 4s to save because they're in cover. And that's a horrendous roll. Only 2 saved, so there's 6 neophytes. Bite the dust. Right, so unit of Genestealer cultists coming under more fire from these orcs. Have fired all the shooters up there, and the rockets are going to go at the Armiger, but we've done the shooter shots first. 2 wounds on the Genestealer Cult, having to save on 4s. Oh, not much of a threat here. And then we've got 2 rockets. This is the dangerous part. Because they advanced, they're hitting on 6s with rockets at the Armiger. Well, they've hit once, and they can reroll 1s. Okay, just 1 hit, but that 6 is a dagger, so you can get another, crank another shot out. And of course, it's another 6, so bad moons, incredibly little. Mork and Gork smile upon their dice. Only 1 wound though. So we must save on a 5. Which we don't, so it's a flat 3 damage on the Armiger. Okay, Genestealer Cult has come under more firepower from the dead shiny shooter. Gets 2 wounds and it's AP -1, so save on 5s. We get 1 save, so we've got 1 sole survivor. Right, this squad on the left's now fired all guns at the armature. So we've done the shooters first, and there's been 5 wounds put on the armature. We're going to have to save on 3s. Saves all but 1. That's his 4th wound taken so far, but now he's going to have to put it with 2 rockets. So we are going to fire the rockets, hitting on 5s because these are deadly. He does get 1 hit, no dagger this time. Needs a 3 to wound. He does get his wound, so saving on 5. We do save that rocket. That was the most important one to save. So just 1 wound after that volley. And still over here we had the last looter firing to the priests. Got 1 wound on them. We're going to have to save on invulnerable 5. Okay, that just glances off. The Emperor protects. Okay, the Orcs are going to have the looters up top in the corner. They're going to shoot down at the destroyers. So we're going to see how many shots they get. So it's D3. Just the 1 shot. Command point reroll. Are you happy with the 1?
No, let's do that.
Okay, so just 5 shots. Still enough to hurt them. Reroll 1s. Just 1 hit so far. And just the 1 hit. So strength 7 against toughness 5. Going to need a 3. He does get it. And because it is Shroud's Arm, or Shroud's Arm is an effect rather, it's going to block that AP -1, so we're saving on a straight 4 here. Which we saved, nice. Okay, now the Morganaut looms. Okay, so the Gorgonaut, he's fired all of his shots in at this armature. So we chose to do rotate Iron Shield, so we've got an invulnerable 4. He's rattled off all the big shooter shots first, just as a rangefinder salvo. So he has achieved 1 wound, which we're going to have to save on a 3, which we do. Now it is time for the more threatening weaponry. So he's got the
2 rockets.
The 2 rockets. Rerolls 1s, that's the benefit of bad moons. And that is a 5, so he gets it. He has played more dagger on this Gorgonaut as well, so extra daggers on 5 and 6. He doesn't get that extra shot though, but he rerolls 1s because he's a bad moon, so it's a minefield of rerolls with the Orc. And that's disappeared. And it fails. So just 1 hit so far. 3s to wound with the rocket. He does get it, and we've got an invulnerable 4 save to make, which we do not get. So he's taken flat 3 damage. Do we want to reroll that, or should we save a command point reroll for the custom Mega Zapper? It's a flat 3 damage. It's nasty. So no, we're not going to do it. We're going to hold the command point reroll in our pocket for this custom Mega Zapper. So he's got 3d6 to shoot at him. 3d3, sorry. So this is how many shots he's getting. So that's a 3, a 1 and a 2. So 6 shots coming out. He's still got the more dagger in place, so any 5s and 6s is going to generate more shots. And he gets 3 daggers there, no rerolls because of bad moons, so an extra 3 coming. And he gets an extra 2, there's 2 5s there. There's 2 yellow dice for you. Keep the theme going. So he's got 5 hits. Nasty stuff. And strength 8, so needing 3s to wound. Oh, got a bit lucky there. There's 3 passes, 2 failures. Going to need our invulnerable 4 save to flare into life. Okay, so we've passed 2, failed 1. We will use that command point reroll now. Come on. Oh, it's a 3. Goes through anyway, so it's D6 damage for this armature. What can you do to him? It's a 5. That's nasty. Ugh. Okay, we've got 4 wounds left on the armature now. It's smoking. It's on its 2nd bracket, and he's still got his custom blaster in the belly to fire, so it needs a 5. That's cocked die. Try again. Gets a 3. No dice this time. And finally for the Orcs, we've got 2 rockets just in that boy squad unit there. They're just out of range to finish off the armature. They're going to go for the Castellans instead. So 2 rockets. He's going to need 5s to hit. He gets 1 5. Needs a 3 to wound. And he gets it. Alright, so we are in Aegis Protocol, so we have a 4+ invulnerable save. Come on. Yes. We make it, we survive. And the rest of the shooters from that same squad polish off this last Genestealer Cultist up top here. So they've blown a hole through the Genestealer Cult. for the Orks. Still a stubborn resistance on the left here. So that is the end of the Orks' turn. There's no morale check to take for the Mechanicus. And no morale check to take for the Genestealer Cult because they're all wiped out. So we're going to go on to a rare moment. It's a third round, or a third phase of play with the Genestealer Cultists. Right, it's Genestealer Cult's turn, so we've got pretty much half the squad is going to fire at the Gorkanaut, the nearer to him, and then the other half are going to be firing down at the Mechanicus stuff. So we're going to do the half against the Orks first. So we've got 7 autoguns firing, rapid firing, needing 4s. That's actually pretty good, the Genestealer Cult. But need a wound on 6s. Of which there are none, so they'll just bounce off that armour. But now, more seriously, here comes a mining laser. It's like a short range las cannon, and he's missed. Okay, over to the other Genestealer Cults that are going to fire down against the Mechanicus. Alright, so the other half of the Genestealer Cults, this is the tasty bit, there's 2 grenade launchers here. They're going to fire down into the Castellans because they have to select the nearest unit. So we've got 10 shots from the autoguns because they're rapid firing. And let's just get rid of the misses here. So it's pretty good from them. Pretty good shots. But now they're going to need a wound on 6s. No, so nothing from the autoguns. And then we've got 2 grenade launchers. Crack rounds. God, 2 hits. Strength 6 versus toughness. Is it toughness 6 for Castellan Robot?
Yeah, 7.
Toughness 7, right, so needing 5s. This might be our saving grace. So 5s for the Castellan robots. Gets 1. See if we can save. We do have the benefit of Shroud's Arm, so we're saving on a 3, which we get, and it's a bounces off our armour. I've forgotten what the rule's called. It deflects back at them, so it's a mortal wound on that unit to have killed a cultist, or rather, a cultist has killed himself. But now here's the tasty part. We've got a mining laser from that squad at the Castellan robots, hitting on a 4. He's missed, thankfully, but there's another one to fire. The last remaining guy in that squad. He's got 1 chance to make a difference. He does get a hit. Wounds on a 3, it's strength 9. He does wound. Right, we've got Aegis Protocols, we've got a 4 invulnerable save on this. And we've failed it. That's D6. Oh, we can use a command point reroll. It's a different phase, it's a different turn. Tell you what, we are going to use a command point reroll. And we're saved. Right, we've blocked all damage from the Genestealer Cults. Right, that is the end of battle round 1, and the Orks didn't manage to secure first strike either, because that isn't a part of your opponent's army, that's just a third party unit. So no first strike for either side, but the Orks did gain a point because they're holding the 2 objectives there. The Mechanicus just couldn't push up there in time. We needed to fire our guns, so we're down on a point there for the Mechanicus. The Orks are in front. But now it's time for the end of the battle round turn for the infestation rule. So we'll both roll a dice, so the Mechanicus roll a 4 and the Orks get a 4. Right, so that's an 8. If it's less than 6, there could be another unit arrive. So not this time, perhaps next time. Right, Mechanicus turn 2. Starting to get aggressive now. These Rangers, or the Vanguard rather, they've advanced up to there. They're going to be now in range of that Ork unit at the back. These take the objective. The Tech Priest Dominus, he's gone with them as well. Once again, the Dune Crawlers step to the left. Now we do have a line of sight on the Morgonaut in the distance. So we're going to get our big guns on the money now. He's ran into this section here. And then the Armiger, the wounded one, has ran over to here. So we are within 6, just about, for Tech Priest Dominus. And he's healed us up with 1 point. And then we used Tech Adept Stratagem to heal another wound. So we're back on 6 wounds now. Still on our second tier, but we're getting better. The robots move forward and claim this objective. And we're going to have to take on the Genestealers again. And the Destroyers, they just move on up the street as well. They're going to try and some shots possibly on the bikes in the backfield, just behind that wall, behind that red wall in the distance. It's possible. And then over here, the really aggressive move had the Priests. They've run up as close as the 1-2. They're going to put the electric might of the Omnissiah onto this unit, and then we're going to have the Armiger go into fight soon afterwards. So we have got all our thermal spears in range and all of our heavy weapons in range of the Morgonaut. We just need the blessings of the Omnissiah to see us through this one. And speaking of the Omnissiah, he's given us a 1 and a 2 on the canonical table, which we did roll at the start, of course, but we only got reroll 1s in combat and then a mortal wound if we're in combat, so nothing that we wanted at all there, unfortunately. So we're not getting blessed this round with anything decent that we need. We're just going to have to rely on good old-fashioned dice rolling. Right, the robots, same thing again. We haven't changed our protocol at all. We're going to fire the flamers up at the larger unit this time. 1 better than the last time. Only 5 shots. These have been bad. 3s to wound, of which we get 4. So 7 on 5s because you're in cover. So 3 drop. Burn to a crisp. Right, we're going to have the Data Smith. He's going to fire up. You can just see the head of the last Genestealer Cult out of that unit. He's got a Gamma Pistol. He hits on a 3. He hits, it's strength 6, so wound on 2. We get it, and it's AP minus 3, so there's no save there. He just blows them straight out of that cover. Jumping over here, we've had the priests, electrical priests fire into these Orks. They did advance, they're at -1, but they've still done really well. 7 wounds on this Ork unit. They're going to have to save on their custom force field of 5s. They get 2, and now they've got a pain boy to try and save. Those 5 fails, need 6s. They don't do it, so 5 Orks drop. Right, staying over here for now, we've got the Vanguard unit. They're going to fire down at this Ork boy unit. We've played a stratagem for Conqueror Doctrina Imperative, which means we've got a +2 to our shooting attack. So we advance, that's going to cancel out the advance and give us a +1 to hit. So hitting on 2s, and we're within 9 inches of the Tech Priest thanks to his Warlord. So we're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. We've thought long and hard about even doing the Wrath of Mars and bumping this attack up even more, but we're going to choose basic Gamma rifles here. And we'll reroll 1s. Right, that's a full house, all hit. Right, they're only strength 3, so we're needing 5s to wound. Here we go. That's not very good at all. We've only got 4 out of that lot. Ooh, it's just as well we didn't play Wrath of Mars when we would have got 2 mortal wounds there. Right, that's bad. Thought that would have might have been better, but only 4 in the end, so custom force field saves. Saves 2, and then the Pain Boy saves on top of that. And we do manage to kill 2 in the end, so catastrophic failure in the end there from those guys. Only killed 2 Orks, but we've still got the Plasma Calivers to fire. And we reroll 1s. And 3s to wound. Oh, more 1s. There's 2 more. Custom Force Field. Saves 1, and then Pain Boy. Saves the other. Right, we're going to move on to the Onager Dune Crawler in the corner there. He's going to fire his neutron laser at the Morgonaut, and then the heavy stubbers down at this unit that just didn't want to die. So let's continue on this unit. Let's do the heavy stubbers. So 3s to hit. And that's 4. 4s to wound, 3. So custom force field saves. He's made 2, and then a pain boy save. Kills 1, so 3 orcs dead in the end. That was just hard going. Right, so the neutron laser, it's D3 shots out of this at the Morkanaut. This is where it counts. Oh, just 1. Do want a command point reroll it? No. So he's hit with it at least. Needs a 3 to wound. We do get the wound. It's custom force field save of 5. Fails it. Right, this is D6 damage and it can never be less than 3. It's the full 6. Wow, cool. So 6 wounds on that. So it's only taken 6 wounds, because we did forget to mention in the last turn the big mech healed that up, so it was fresh for this turn, and now it's just taken 6. Right, we're going to continue chipping away at it. We're going to have the Armiger. It's going to fire a thermal spear at it, and then the melter gun at this big mob. So on the big mob, hits, wounds, so you need a custom force field. No, and then it's D6 damage at that range, so you need 6 pain boy saves. Should have probably saved that 6 for the Morkanaut. Right, so there's one orc absolutely obliterated. So what we're trying to do is just get a morale check in that unit. So high value power, killing lowly orcs. Right, so thermal spear, D3 shots. The full 3, right, this could be good. Yeah, here we've got 3s to hit. Oh, it's disappointing. So just 1. Needs a 4. We do get it though. Custom force field. Doesn't make it. Do you want to command point reroll that at all? No? So D6 damage, come on thermal spear. Bring it home. 4. Right, that's pretty good. Pretty good. 10 wounds put on the Morkanaut. Okay, we're going to try for the big one now. We've done Machine Spirit Resurgent on the furthest away Armiger, so he now acts on his top bracket. He was halved before, so he's going to be hitting on his full blitzing skill against the Gorkanaut, or Morkanaut rather. We're getting 3 shots out of the thermal spear. It's good news. 3s to hit, and that's bad news. Do we command point reroll one of these? No. That's 2 wound. So you need a custom force field save of 5. Oh, bounces off. Okay, now we're going to shoot with the destroyers. We're going to choose, we didn't want to do it, but we feel like we'll have to destroy a unit now. We're going to use elimination volley. So we're within 6 of the castle and robots. It means we'll get a +1 to hit with the destroyers. It's a bit of a waste not having with the shooty robots, but we need the destroyers to do well, because we're going to fire on the bikes. So here we go, we're going to have the plasma cannons fire through at the bikes. So we're going to count the bikes as in cover there. So we've got 3 D6 shots from each of them. We are reroll ones because we are within range of the Tech Priest Dominus. How many shots are we getting? That's pretty good. So we'll rack all that up. Right. Hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. We're not overcharging. Oh, not a 1 inside, but loads of 2s. Can't reroll any of those. Alright, needing 3s to wound because there's strength 7 against these bikes. And now we see a lot of 1s. Alright, 6 wounds on the bikes. Because they're in cover, they would have a 3+ save, so you need 6s to save there. We just need to kill a few bikes. Didn't want to overcharge because we didn't want to kill any important robots. So you've passed 2, failed 4. So bikes, 2 wounds apiece, 2 bikes die. Right, that's the end of the Mechanicus shooting phase. A little bit disappointing there, but we're going to try and get some success with a charge from the Armiger. He's going to charge into this unit of Orc boys here, and he's going to have to survive some Overwatch. So there's 2 rocket shots. Real 1s because of bad moons. Doesn't get the hit in the end, but he's still got a tank buster bomb. This is D3 shots. He's getting 2. Needs 6s to hit. Does get 1 hit, and it's a Dagger, because Dagger does work in Overwatch. So he has brought 2 bombs with him after all. I despair. So it's strength 8. He needs 3s to wound. He gets 1 wound, so I need to save on a...
Might do a command point reroll on that one.
Okay, command point reroll. So he does get 2 wounds in the end, and a tank busted bomb is AP -2, so we're saving on 5s. Both fail, and it's D6 damage each, so these tank busted bombs are lethal. So he's got 5 wounds on the armiger, so it's already taken 4. Right, well, 4 shooter shots here, so there's 8 shots in total. Let's see what they can do. Reroll 1, so 2 more to reroll. 3 more to reroll. And then in the end there's 3 hits, and that means 3 daggers, because daggers do work in the Overwatch. Okay, there's an extra one. It's just going all the Orks with, and needing 5s. They got 1 wound, 3 will fail. Right, we've got 2 wounds left on the armiger. That was unexpected and quite frankly devastating. So it's an easy charge to make on a 5. So he gets there. We're just going to go there, just try and keep on the objective. But that was a sour round. Right, so we're going to fight with the armiger. Really wish we did, if we could do Power of the Machine Spirit Resurgent in a phase, we really would want to here, but we can't. It's at the start of the turn. So we're hitting on 5s now. We've still got the same amount of attacks, but we need 5s to hit. We're using the sweeping strike, and we get 2 hits, and we're needing 3s to wound, which we get 1. So it's only it's AP -2, so it's going to go through your armor, but the pain boy can try and save him on a 6. He doesn't, so we've successfully killed an Ork. Hooray! Right, the Orks are piled in, they're ready to fight back. There's only 2 wounds left on the knight, so it's very plausible that they might be able to take it down here. So 13 attacks, including the boss, all hitting on 3s and wounding on 5s. So they get a lot of hits. And 5s to wound, so this could be the end for the knight. And it just very well may be with a roll like that. There's 5 wounds, it's well above average, and we need to save on 3s. We saved them all, luckily. We really didn't want to go down there. We needed to contest that objective for all we were worth. So we'll hang on, but that was scary stuff, and we absolutely got battered in the Overwatch. At the end of Mechanicus' turn, we did well on the Morkanaut and really poorly elsewhere, so we're disappointed with the Knight situation, but we might be able to salvage it if there's a bad morale check. So they lost 5 in this phase, so the leadership's 7, and that's bad, that's 11, so that's going to be 4 Orks removed. Right, so just 2 Orks left on the Knight there, and then there's this squad, lost 5 as well, so they're going to need a check. 4 plus 5 is 9, 2 Orks run away from that. Alright, then lastly on the bikes here, they lost 2, and their leadership 7 as well, so let's see what they roll. A 1, they're fine on that. So, alright, so morale check to do for the Genestealer Cults there, they lost 3, so 3 plus 4 is 7, they're good. Right, Ork's turn, and just a bit of a reshuffle, nothing drastic. So these have peeled off the combat, they won't be able to contribute, but there they are with the 2 rockets, they're just going to stay in the fight. This unit has moved onto that objective, so they will score it even if the knight just stands there and looks at them. The bikes are on the way, they're going to engage, everyone looks like they're going to engage that unit of Vanguard under the underpass. Over here these just mosey on through just a little bit, going to get some rocket shots at the robots, and the Morkanaut pretty much stays where he is, just a bit of a shuffle. But what he does do is he stays next to the big mech and heals 2 wounds on him, so he's now on 10 wounds left, so he's slowly getting better. He's back up on his top health, and he's going to surely start firing off again. And then out of the teleporter comes the truck. So on the truck is 3 big mechs, Meganobs, sorry, with rockets, and then there's a tank buster unit in there as well. They've got rear shots on the Onager Dune Crawler, and that is a big threat in the backfield now. So it's on to shooting phase. They revealed themselves, that teleport unit. The Orks are set up for more dagger this turn. Right, Ork shooting phase, we're going to have this unit in the underpass fire away. So they've fired the shooters into the Vanguard squad, and the rockets are going at the destroyers. So we just need to do the saves on the Vanguard squad. 4 saves to make on 4s. Really wish we had Shroud's Arm, but we don't. But we still save quite strongly anyway. Only 1 casualty there. And then 2 rockets to fire, so 5s to hit. We'll get 1 6, and it's a dagger, so extra shot. And it's another 6, so just can't stop rolling 6s this game. 3s to wound.
Oh.
2, and what was the other one? I can't see. There's a
1 and a 2.
A 1 and a 2. Okay. That is good news.
Let's do a command point reroll there.
Okay, how many command points you got left now?
This last one.
Okay, that's the last command point. He really wants to see a destroyer dead.
Really wants some.
So it does wound in the end. So I need to save on a 6, which is an invulnerable save anyway. But it's 3 damage, so if he gets it, he's going to flat out kill a destroyer. But we get a 6.
Oh.
Yes, thankfully something goes our way. Alright, the bikes are the next one to shoot. There's 3 bikes left, and they've shot in on the Vanguard. I've already done it. There's 5 wounds to try and save here. On 4s, can we do it? Absolutely not. We'll fail 4. So we've lost half the squad in all that gunfire beneath the alley. Right, I'll come over here because the big mech warlord, he's going to fire his dead shiny shooter at the Vanguard. So here we go. He's got 12 shots from this. And he rerolls 1, so it's 3 1s and a lot of data. He's not messing around. Okay, there's just an extra 1. So this is strength 4, AP -1, I believe.
4 daggers.
So these are 4 daggers. Rerolls 1s. Okay, still pretty good. And then 3s to wound. Okay, not so good that time. 3 wounds there. Need to save on 5s because it's AP -1. Again, really wish we had Shroud's Arm. Never leave home without Belisarius Call. And that's why I've lost another 3. But Belisarius can't be everywhere, but we really wish he was here. Right, the Electro Priests come under fire. We've had 1 shot from the looter in the window. The last surviving looter, he's proven to be a pain. Gets 1 shot and 1 hit and 1 wound, so I need to save on invulnerable 5. We do. That force field's working nicely, but we'll take another shot from this big shooter at the priests, and we need to save on a 5 again, which we don't. But we've got a feel no pain style save of 5, which we don't get. So we've lost a priest finally. Right, I've got this unit here. There's 2 rockets, and all of the shooters are going to fire into the castellan. So 2 rockets, reroll 1s, and still a failure. So we're going to have all of the shooter shots now. Alright, so the shooters are shot after loads of dice get thrown around. There's 5 wounds to be saved on the Castellan robot. So again, if we had Shroud's Arm, we'll be saving on 2s, but we're not. We're saving on 3s. So again, 6s will bounce back at them. So let's pray for some 6s, which we get none, and we'll fail 1 armor save. So the first wound on the Castellan robot. Okay, so you've got the Mech himself with his teleport blaster. It's Assault 3. And he's got 1 hit, and it is a dagger. And no hit, but that's a 1. So that is a 6 in the end, after losing focus there. Right, so there's 2 hits in the end. And it's strength 8. So you're needing 3s. He does get 1, and it's AP -2, so we're needing to save on a invulnerable 4 because we've got our Aegis protocol still in effect. It's a 6, it bounces back. It's a mortal wound on the mech, but you'll probably take that on his oiler, and the oiler is zapped somehow. So the oiler's dead. The mech hasn't taken any wounds yet. So it's now time for the Tartar-Sit, the Gobshot Thunderbus. So this is basically a 2d6 heavy flamer at 12-inch range. So how many shots? He's getting 5 shots, and he's needing 5s to wound. There's 5 shots, you only roll 4 dice there. It's an extra shot. So just the 1 in the end. It's AP -1, so we're saving on a 4.
No shot.
And we're saving a 6, and it's a mortal wound, bounce back at him. Alright, so the Big Mech is he's the victim of it, but he still enjoys that kind of technology where the bounce shots back. He's going to write that down in his notepad and come up with something himself. So he's had enough of the robots. He's going to fire the Morgonaut at the destroyers over here. He doesn't want any more shots bouncing back at him. He's just had quite enough of that. So everything at the destroyers, because he's banking on just killing them outright here. So are you doing your rockets first?
Okay.
That's flat 3 damage. That's probably the best way to go.
You go then.
So 2 rockets.
Can you see?
Yeah. And there's 1 hit and it's a dagger, and the dagger hits in the end. So still, the Bad Moon's luck is just rolling in thick and fast on the 5s and 6s. 3's to wound. He gets 2, and it's AP -2, which means we're saving on 6s, which we fill. And at a flat 3 damage, there's 2 destroyers killed outright. Nothing we can do about that. And then the rest of the guns can still fire because that's just the way it goes, even though he's outside. So let's do the custom Mega Zapper and just finish this guy off. So 3d3.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 shots. It's going to be more than enough to see this last guy off. Or formerly guy. Cyborg guy. So reroll 1s, which is important.
Never ends at
So look at all of
3
those
daggers.
hits. Disgraceful.
No, they don't get it.
Right, so these are strength 8. So you're needing 3s to wound.
Oh, 3.
3, right. It's massive AP. So we're going to rely on our 6 invulnerable save again, of which we get none. So it doesn't even matter about the damage because we've just failed 3 wounds. So we've died 100 times over probably there. So we've lost our destroyers in 1 burst from the Morgonaut. Right, it's time for the contents of the teleported battle truck. It's not a battle wagon, just a truck, into the Onager Dune Crawlers. So it's going to be kicked off with the tank busters. Going to let loose with the bomb squig first. So it hits on a 2. So he does hit, and it's strength 8, meaning 3. Does get it. I'm going to have to check my invulnerable save here. I think it's a 5. Let's see what I roll. Well, a 1 definitely goes through. So I think it's d6 damage with the bomb squig. Okay, it takes 4 damage. Okay, so 4 wounds on the Onager Dune Crawler so far, and the tank busters to go now. So, yep, 5 shots. Rerolling all failed hit rolls because they are hunting a vehicle, their chosen target. So just a 1, but it is a dagger, so you can reroll that. Sorry, it's not a reroll, it's just a dagger.
Yeah.
Dagger extra roll. So there we go. There's 2 hits in the end. Strength 8 needing 3s. And he does get 1. So he's run out of command points now. So you can't reroll that even if you wanted to. So, sit on a 5. We get it, right? We've absorbed that. That was really dangerous times. But we're still not out of the woods yet. There's 3 Mega Knobs on board, letting loose with 3 rockets. So no hits so far. That one fell off the edge of the earth. No hits. The Onager survives. Right, last thing to fire from the Orks is the looters in that building fired down at the this unit under here, the Vanguard. That's what they're called. So AP -1 from a def gun, 7 on 5s. So 3 bite the dust. Not cool. So I lost 3 in that unit, and then it's straight onto assault this unit, charging these last 2 Vanguard here. Overwatch didn't do anything, and then they rolled an 8-inch charge. So they're in already. Pretty easy for the Orks to get an 8-inch charge with here we go rules. So in they go, in force. They're now looking the business. Right, over here there's a charge going on. The Big Mech is going to charge the the Armiger, there we go. So we've got a melter gun, misses, and the thermal spear gets 2 shots, and we don't hit any. So he goes in, and then the paintboy is sure to follow. Alright, so we're going to do this combat here. The Big Mech will strike. He's got 3 attacks. He's not interested in a lot of attacks, this guy. He does get 1 hit, and he needs to wound on a 3. Does get his wound, so we're saving on a 6 with the Knight, which you do not, and it's D3 damage. You've only got 2 wounds left, so he's only done 1 wound. No command points to reroll, so he's still hanging on, but only just, because now he's going to be clipped down to size by the Pain Boy. Pain Boy's got 4 attacks, hits on 4s. Alright, he's got 3, it's strength 10, he's looking for 3s. He gets 2, we're going to have to get a double 6, or else it's over for the night. We get 1 6 and a 5, so decent attempt at saving, but not enough. Let's see if we explode on a 6. No, wish we rolled a 6 there.
Goodness.
Right, over onto this combat, the boys have done 6 wounds on the Vanguard, 7 on 4s. Okay, we'll drop 3, that's the entire unit because we only had 2 left. Okay, that's the end of the Ork turn there, no consolidation from the unit over there. And that's about it. So no morale checks for the Mechanicus because they were either just wiped out or just lost 1 here, but they've got a high leadership, so they're okay there. So it's ready to go on to the Genestealer's phase. Right, the Genestealer Cult, every single model is closer to the castle and robots, so they won't move, they're just going to shoot and then charge because they are within 12 now. So here we go, 2 mining lasers. So 1 hit and it's strength 9, going to need a 3. Does wound, right, the castle and robot's going to have to bounce this one back, and he doesn't, so he's going to take d6 damage. So just roll that one, just the 1. So just another wound on the robot. This is painful stuff. Alright, 2 grenade launchers. Let's see what they can achieve. 2 hits. They're doing well now. 5's to wound this time, a bit harder. They do get 1. It's AP minus 1. So we're saving on a 4. We do save, thankfully. So just 1 wound. That was dangerous stuff. And then there's a load of auto guns to fire. Right, fired off the auto guns. 8 fired rapid fire. Did 1 wound, so we have to save on a 3. Oh, there's another wound on the robot. Right, so this one's got 3 wounds left. And now the Genestealer Cult will charge, but not before Overwatch. Let's hope we can get something high on the flamers. Okay, 8, that's not too bad. Better than any time we fired them so far. So let's hope this is the time. So 3's to wound. Right, all but 2. So 6 saves to make on these Genestealer Cultists, and they are within cover, so they're going to be saving on 5s. Save 3, so 3 go down. Okay, so we've had a measure, and it's a 9-inch charge from off the gantries. It might be better if they don't make it, so 7, no good. So they failed the charge, but that's probably for their benefit. Right, morale check to make on the Genestealer Cultists. They lost 3 to that Overwatch, and the leadership 8, so 3 plus 3 is 6, they're good. They will stay the course. Alright, so that's the end of the turn, and both sides have 2 objectives. So 1 there for the Mechanicus, another one there for the Mechanicus, with the unit underneath. There it is. Orks have that one in the distance, and they have that one just behind the pipe over there. So no points for either side this turn, and now it's time to see if the Genestealers get any reinforcement. So I roll a 4, Bad Moon's roll a 4, right? That's an 8 in total. It needs to be less than 6 for the Genestealer Cult to get reserves. So no reserves for the cult. Right, it's Adeptus Mechanicus turn 3. This is the turn where it could all turn around or it could just cave in. We're banking it all on this turn, I feel. So we've had the Castellan robots. They've just reshuffled on this objective. We did heal this robot at the end of the movement phase, the full D3, so he's back to full health. So we did take some stick from the mining lasers and all those orcs in that alley, but we seem to be pulling through it. So we're still holding that objective. It's difficult times over there. Over here we've had reshuffle on the top, just more rangers getting a good line of sight. The Vanguard have moved around with the Tech Priest Dominus. Going to try and get some shots on those orcs. He healed a wound on the Knight, so he's back up to full health. Well, not full health, he's on his top bracket rather, and he's got 7 wounds left now. The Tech Priest Engine Seer, he heals the full D3 wounds on the June Crawler, so it's only taken 1 wound now, so 10 left on this one. So we've built our machines back up. Couldn't have happened at a better time with a creek in there. Over here, the infiltrators have finally come down, so we've kept our options open in the street here. We've got shots on the 2 characters around the corner there, or we could double back for this objective because this truck is still in the way, and it is a big threat. It's got the mega knobs on, they're going to be hard to stop. And then just around the corner from the infiltrators we have the priests, so they're going to get their hands on the orc characters. They're going to talk about the good word of the Omnissiah to them, see what they say. Alright, we're going to go on to the robots now. We did fire off the Gamma Pistol, killed Genestealer Xenos scum up the top. Now we're going to have some flamers, the combustine flamers down at the orcs in the street. So let's purge the Xenos, cleanse them with Holy Flame. On a 9, that's the best they've got so far. Couldn't ask for more. Well, we could, but we're glad that it's just given us something this time. Okay, so 3s to wound. Oh, loads of ones, but 5 successes in the end. So invulnerable saves on the custom force field, and all fail. So actually halved that unit. So success in the alley, the cleansing flame of the Omnissiah, toasts, roasts some orcs. Right, next up is the June Crawler. So we've fired the heavy stubbers up at the Genestealer Cult and then the neutron laser at the Morkanaut. We've done 5 wounds on the cultists. They're going to have to save on 4s because they're in cover. They've taken another 2 casualties. So 2 more perish, and then we're going to tune up the neutron laser. Right, here we go. Neutron laser D3. 2. That's respectable. Oh. Let's bring it on home. Hitting on 3s. Let's do it. He's hit them both. Strength 10, needing 3s to wound. Oh! Alright, we're now over here for some shooting. So there's a posse of 6 orcs in the centre there. We've killed all but 1. That took everyone from the Rangers to the Tech Priest Dominus with his Volkite Blaster. And there's only 1 remaining. So now we've got the Vanguard and we're splitting up the shots like this. So we're going to have everyone fire at that 1 orc, except the plasma calivers. They're going to overcharge and fire at the bikes just through that gap there. So there's a reason why we're doing this, and we'll show you in a second. So first of all, the plasma calivers at the bikes. So the first one, it was a 1, but we can reroll 1s because of the Tech Priest Dominus. So he's got 2 successful hits there. The second one, see if he can do that. He's missed with 1, but he's hit with 1. So no one's killed themselves, luckily. So strength 8, we're needing 3s on the bikes. So we'll get 2. And at AP minus 3, that's going to be 2 bikes drop down dead.
Except the custom force field.
Oh, the custom force field. Oh, right. I didn't factor that in, so here we go. Well, 1 fail, 1's a cocked die. Just do it on the gantry there. And another fail, right, so the custom force field doesn't kick in and 2 bikes are vaporised. Right, so all these Mechanicus units have cleared the path. We've killed our final boy with the rest of the squad, and now we've got a clear line on these characters. So that means this Armiger Knight is now closer to the characters and we can target them. That was our master plan all along. It came off a little inefficient, but we did it. Oh, we've got there. We haven't done it yet, but we might. So we're going to have, first of all, the priests are going to try and strip away the pain boy because we don't want feel no pain saves on this war boss, on this mega boss when we come to on this big mech. When we come to blast him. So we're going to give him the power of the Omnissiah from the priest into the pain boy. Right, no 6s in there. That's a big shame because we would have got extra shots like Necron, Tesla. But they are strength 5, so we're needing 3s. Okay, that was pretty good in the end. So there's that many wounds. That's 6, 7, 8 on the pain boy. He's got 4 wounds of pain boy, and he's got the benefit of the custom force field. So 7 on 5s. She only makes 2. Could be 8, and then he saves on 6s with these. He's going to try and plunge his needle into himself and
6 times.
Yeah, give him some adrenaline. No, he's dead. He's gone. 5 wounds. The pain boy falls down dead, fried to a crisp. Okay, that's step 1 achieved. Right, now it's time for the big mech. We don't want to fire the thermal spear because he would take it on the Grot Orderly. It's not Grot Orderly, it's a mech helper, whatever he is. But we're going to try and blast him with the flechette blasters.
Mech oiler.
Yeah, it's going to try and take him out with that. Right, so we've shot the flechette blasters. Only 2 wounds on the big mech. So he's going to take this on his armour. He's not going to put it on the oiler. And he passes them both. Right, so we're going to have to put the thermal spear on him now. We're out of range with the melter gun up top. So it's all about the thermal spear. See how many shots we're getting. D3. 2 shots, okay, hitting on 3s. Both hit. We're wounding on his toughness 4, isn't he? Right, did a double check. He is only toughness 4, so we're wounding on 2s. Double wound, right, this is crucial now. He's got the oiler to take 1 on a force field save of 5.
He gets a force field. 5.
He doesn't make it, so there's the grot vaporized. Now he's going to have to fall back on his Warlord relic, the dead shiny armour, whatever it's called.
He's a 4, invulnerable.
Yeah. There's no command point reroll.
I'm looking at yeah.
The plan has failed, big time. Right, we just couldn't do it. Tried our very best to do that. So now it's going to be the hard way. We're going to have to roll up our sleeves and get in there and make it bloody. These don't have any sleeves, so they're just going to have to run straight in. So it's the dead shiny shooter, and he's got 12 shots. So you've got 12 shots. Right, rerolls 1s because he's bad moon. And unfortunately, there's 4 6s in there, which means data, which means pin. Absolutely insane. Here we go. Alright, you can reroll that 1 because that's a brand new attack. No, right, so it's just still the 4 and wounded on 3s. And he gets 3. This is not good news for the priest. So we need invulnerable 5s, doesn't matter that it's AP -1. Get 1, and then we've got 2 feel no pins. We make, right, we'll go in. Come on, lads. Yes. So they go in. We're going to try a long 9-inch charge from the newly arrived infiltrators. Let's see what they can do. Nope, don't make it. So it's all on the priests to make this happen. Okay, so we're going on to the combat phase now. The priests are going to fight, but we're going to pile in. We've left a nice little gap around them, so we're going to use our full pile-in move to try and trap him in to the combat, so he doesn't move. So it would be there on the objective. So he's trapped, can't fall out, which means we will not be getting shot, hopefully, if we can't kill him. Right, just before we kick off the combat, just remembered the Voltergeist field rule. So you roll a dice for each guy who made the charge, and if it's a 6, it's a mortal wound, which is precisely what we need at this point. So any 6s, oh, but you don't get any. You just don't get rewarded for remembering these rules. So normal attacks in, it's the hard way, just like we predicted. So they've got 2 attacks each. Any 6s are extra attacks. Okay, let's cock die in that. Right, we'll get an extra hit there. So 2 6s, which means 4 extra attacks, and these are automatic hits, should I say. So these are strength 5, needing 3s. Alright, that's decent. So there's 5, 6, 7 wounds on the Mega Knob, saving on 2 plus. If we keep on slapping around with our electric hands, he'll crack. There's a double one. Okay, so 3 wounds left on the Mega Knob boss, Mech. So he's going to fight back. He's only got a measly 3 attacks, but he can make them count if he hits on a 4. He does get 1, and he's going to wound on a 2. And he does wound, needing a 5 to save. We save. Invulnerable save. Sweet. We've blocked him in. We've taken that objective. We just have to linger there. So it's now the end of the turn. It's morale checks to be made. So this unit are okay. They didn't take any casualties. This unit took 2. Leadership 7 because the knob is still intact and he's going to fight on. It's dangerous. That unit took 5 casualties. And they're all a 1. So they're okay. Alright, and then the Genestealer Cult, we think they lost 3, it might have been 4, but we're going to say 3, and they pass on a 1. Turn 3 for the Orks, and the fight continues. So over here, the Megadobs pour out of the truck, and on the way they're going to get up and close personal with the Onaga Dune Crawler. They've just had enough of it, and the tank busters are going to stay at the back, put their rockets down range. So plenty of vehicles for them to get stuck into in the back. So now the breakthrough for the machines, well, the machine, and then the rest of them pile around the side. So it's going to be big old bust up in the centre here. And that's not all that happened here. The big Mech, he's just behind there. He's healed 3 wounds on the Morganaut, so he's almost back on full health now, so all the hard work that we put in, just all for naught. And of course the looters in the top nest over there just haven't moved. They'll just continue their campaign. And then down here we've got support for the big Mech. The 2 boys that were coming out this building are going to join the combat, and the bike swung around the side, probably going to put its guns on the newly arrived infiltrators and blow them away. And then he'll probably join the combat as well. So the Orks actually don't have that many units left now. And it's teetering, both sides struggling to gain this upper hand here. Okay, the infiltrators were the victims of the first shooting attack, so shots from the looter in the corner there, he doesn't do anything. The bike fired next, didn't do anything, and then a shot from the truck in the background has achieved a wound, so we have to save that on a 4 for the infiltrators, which we do. They're hanging tight this game. Normally they're just eradicated as soon as they've arrived. So it's a dangerous unit to have left alive on that side. So that's all the Orks can shoot at them on there. They're out of sight from everything else. And now it's time for this big unit. They're going to fire over here onto the more fleshier targets from the Mechanicus. Okay, the boys of the shooters have achieved 3 wounds on the Vanguard. We're going to have to save on 4s. And we saved 2, so we've lost 1. It's pretty good going for the Vanguard. And it is now time for the 2 rockets. We're going to shoot in onto the Castellan robots, and you need to try and shift these. So one's a dagger, one's not.
Right here?
Yeah, go on. And he gets a hit with a dagger. There always seems to be some return from the dagger. So 3's to wound, and he gets a double wound. That's a 5 and a 6. So we have to save on invulnerable 4s. We're still in Aegis Protocol for this very reason. So 4's to save. We save 1, fail 1. That's 3 wounds. We still have a command point up our sleeve, but we're waiting for the perfect moment to deploy it. But I think that is not that time. So I'm going to let that go. 3 wounds. Alright, now we've got the big Mech. He's just peeking around the corner there. He's going to put his teleport blaster and the rest of his guns onto the robots. So here comes the teleport blaster.
It doesn't.
He gets 1 hit, and it's a dagger. That's just still 1 hit in the end. So it's strength 8, needing 3's to wound. That's That's a 1 behind the fence there, so no good. So he's got his gobshot, it's hard to say this, gobshot thunderbus, so it's 2d6 like a heavy flamer, and it's a double 1. That was absolutely pathetic. just the gouts of flame just dribble out the front, and he doesn't wound. And that was because he's got a combi scorcher. That was just his. That was the gun profile, because it spits a lot of spanners and stuff. Yeah. But now he's still got the scorcher in hand, so he's got a basic scorcher underneath. I think he's within 8, so d6 shots from the scorcher.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Only 1. 1 roll at 10.
It's very rare.
And he's botched it. So obviously he was just doing a token shooting phase for the Orks, just to show that he was doing something. He didn't want to lose face in front of all of his lads, but his heart definitely wasn't in that one. Alright, it's time for the tank busters now, in the truck back here, firing into the armature, and it's lucky we did hold on to that last command point. We're rotating ion shields for a 4 invulnerable, so we've got 5 rockets coming our way from the tank busters, and they've hit 3 and they can reroll all failed hit rolls against Vigilus. So another 2. Alright, we've got lucky there, they can reroll that. Oh no, they can't reroll that one. So is that the 2 daggers?
2 daggers. Which
they can reroll with, because the tank busters. So you've got 3 hits so far. Let's see if these rerolls gain any more. No, right, so just 3 originals. So needing 3s to wound with these.
There you go.
And he's got 1, and that's a cock die right in the centre of the Skitarii. Just the 1. That's big. Need to save this on a 4. Come on. Yes, on a confident 6. Right, Meganobs now. 3 rockets into the Dune Crawler. So they get 1, and it's a dagger, which doesn't generate another 1, unfortunately. 3s to wound, gets the wound. Right, we need a 5 plus save here against a rocket. We don't get it, that's 3 wounds. So we already had a wound, so I had 10 left, now we have 7 left. So they're going to have to get it done in combat. I think they can chew through 7 wounds. Right, the Morkanaut, he's selected his targets. He's got all main weapons on the robots, but the quad big shooter's gone towards the Vanguard unit. So the Vanguard unit came under some stick. 7 wounds put on them. We're going to have to save on 4s. Come on, we're going to have to brave this out. Oh, no. Lost, only failed 5.
You only failed 5.
Only failed
only
5.
Saved 2.
So only saved 2, right, so that squad's going to be in bad shape now. Right, there he is, the sole survivor, 1 guy left in that unit. Now it's time for the main shots from the Morkanaut. So everything's going at the robots. So is it rockets first?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 rockets, 5. Missed. Alright, so it's the Mega Zapper, custom Mega Zapper.
Yeah.
So it's 3d6 shots, so he's getting 7 shots out of this. Pretty good. And then needing 5s to hit. So that's not a hit. So there's 1 dagger in there and 2 hits. What was that?
Oh, 3.
A 3, so no. So 3 still stand, and then it's 3s to wound. You need to perfect your dice rolling.
That's 2 wounds.
2 wounds, okay. 7 on 4s, but we'd love 6s to bounce these back. We get a 6 and a 4, so we've saved it. So that's a mortal wound bounced straight back at you. Nice. The technology is working.
So you saved 1 and you bounced the 1 back?
Yeah. Alright, so we've now got the custom blaster in the belly. And he's gonna... Does he fancy his chances? It's definitely worth doing. Here he goes.
Wouldn't be orkish.
He's missed anyway, so the decision is out of his hands. It just goes off into the distance. Okay, so now we will mount a charge. So we're going to flame away in our Overwatch to a tune of 6. So 5s to wound, and we'll only get 1. And that is a save of 4 needed. And he gets it, so he's probably going to go in. That's a small charge. See what he gets. Okay, the Morganor goes into combat and he's gone round this way, and we'll explain why later on when it comes time. Over here there's more charging to be done, so the Meganob's going into the Dune Crawler, correct?
Yeah, hold the breath and the go.
Right, so we've got Cognis Stubbers, so these hit on 5s. So let's see if we can just put out the eye of one of these Meganobs. So we get 3 hits and 3 wounds. That's pretty good. So 2s to save. We can kill the Meganob outright. Yeah. Oh, that's a wound. That's a good start. And then the big time one, it is the neutron laser. Swings round, fires 2 shots. Needs 6s, which we don't get. So big anticlimax there. So in the Meganob's go. Okay, so we're ready for the choppy phase, but just before we do, just mention that the usual suspects made their charge. So that was the 2 surviving boys unit and that last bike over there. Have gone in on the priests as said earlier. So we'll get to the big hitters now. So the Morganaut, he's going to use his heavy attack and he's going to try and smash these robots down. So these big monkey paw. So 4 attacks, he's hitting on 3s. And he has 3 successes there, and he's wounded on 2s. This could be good night. 3 successes. Ooh. So because we've got the Aegis Protocol, we're actually saving on 6s. So I did chip myself out of a couple of 2+ saves earlier on, but it's all worked out in the end. So let's hope we get some 6s here, because we've still got Aegis Protocol. Whoops, drop that one. So we do make 1 save, and that's d6 damage each time. So you could actually kill the unit here, depending on what he rolls. So you need 2 dice, and do them one at a time. So the first one, the first blow, is a 5. Right, that's going to kill that robot. See if he explodes. He doesn't. Right, the second blow, if he rolls a 6, it's a 1. Alright, 1 robot survives. It's good news. But 1 robot, 1 trusty robot has gone, and that Data Smith will be furious. Right, 3 Meganobs now, 3 attacks each, and hitting on 4s because the -1. Right, well, that doesn't look very impressive. There's only 3-4 hits there.
Slightly poor.
Very poor. They might still do it though. It's possible, I think. So it's strength 10, the wound on 3s. And that is very poor. So 2 to save on 6s, which you do not make, so it's 2d3 damage. There's a 3 and a 1, so it's 4 damage. And he is down to, he had 7, he's got 3 wounds left. 4 wounds left. No, 3 wounds left. Right, over here on the fights, we've done the fights already. So the knob with the big chopper on the bike, he's done 1 wound, so we need to save on an invulnerable 5, which we don't. And because it's a big chopper, it's 2 damage, so we need to save on the double 5, which we don't. So we've lost a priest, and we'll take him from here. Don't know why, but it feels right. So we've got 4 attacks coming in from these that I've wounded with, so we're going to need to save on 5s with the normal boys. Save 1 and then feel no pain just as normal. And we save 1, fail 2. So there's another 2 priests hit the dirt. Alright, so 2 have gone down, we've got 1 remaining, and he will suffer the wrath from this mega boss, the Big Mech. So he's got 3 attacks for Big Mech, hits with 1, perhaps not. Wound on 2. And he does wound. So saving on an invulnerable 5, can we spoil the party? No, it's d3 damage. So it's 2 and he will a double 5. 5 and a 6 is what I predicted. No. So he's dead. So unit wiped out. So that's crucial because that's going to free up that objective for the Orks, because I was denying them previously. It's time for the robot fight back. So he's got 3 attacks and he only hits on 4s because he's not very good. And he gets 1 hit, and he's strength 10, needing 3s. Gets a wound, it's AP -3, so I need to save on a 6.
Like that.
Oh, using a red dice as well, how insulting.
Yeah,
Alright, then we had the Dune Crawler fight back with no success at all. Okay, morale checks on Mechanicus. There's only 1 morale check to take. It's on this side. There's just one sole survivor of that squad. I think he's going to need to pass his morale on a 1. And he does. Right, it's Genestealer Cult's turn now, and the shoot at the nearest visible unit. So the nearest visible unit is the Castellan robot. They can still fire at it even though it's locked in combat because it's not one of their friendly units. So that is actually in the main rules. It says friendly units, so they can shoot in. If you've got a third party, they can. They don't hold back from shooting into a combat like this. So that's what they're going to do. So there's 2 mining lasers you need to fire with. And there's 1 hit there, and it's a 3 to wound. Oh, he does wound. This robot is just under the cosh. It saves on a 4. He doesn't save. That's D6 damage because the Genestealers kill him. They've killed him. Alright, does he explode on a 6? He doesn't explode. Oh man. Right, now the Genestealer Cult will charge the nearest visible unit because it's their turn. So the nearest visible unit is actually the Gorgonaut. He's just slightly nearer, if you can see the bases there, to that guy in the end. So off he goes. Let's see what their charge range. They're going to need something big. A 5 will not do it, so they'll not join that fight. But that is a major blow to the Mechanicus, just taking out the robot, because that means this objective is now contested, whereas the Mechanicus had it before. So it's going to put the Orks ahead by 1 point. Must just chalk that up to the Genestealer Cult, just taking down who they think the oppressors are. They've obviously got an agenda against the Imperium. The Orks, they're just a threat, but they're not the oppressors that the Imperium are. Okay, so after that really harsh blow to the Mechanicus, the Orks are pulling away now. So they've got this objective and this objective, whereas the Mechanicus only have that one, now that that far one is contested. So the Orks outnumber for who's got the objectives, and that's going to give the Orks an extra point. So it's 2-0, and the Mechanicus are just seeing this one fade away thanks to the Genestealer Cult. Right, now we're going to see if the reserves turn up for the Genestealer Cult this time. So remember, it's got to be a 6. It's got to be under 6. So the Orks have rolled a 2. Well, this is a sign, and that's a 3. So there will be a Genestealer Cult unit turn up. Okay, we've randomly selected the unit that's going to turn up from the Genestealer Pantheon, and it is 15 Acolyte hybrids with all of the trimmings. So there's the 3 special weapons in there. They've got the banner and bone sword for the leader. Now it's the most important role. Who gets to place these? So the player doesn't get to control them, but whoever wins this roll off will get to place them on the board. So the Mechanicus get a 2. That's not very good. My heart is sank already. Oh, it's a 2. Right, here we go again. You can roll first this time. It's a 3, 1 higher. Come on. Ah!
The agony.
Okay, so the hybrids are down. So they've come out of the manhole and arrived here right in the backfield of the Mechanicus, as you can imagine, when they're not in your clutches. So they're gonna they'll start to move in their movement phase. So the Mechanicus will have their turn, Orks will have their turn, and then the Genestealer Cult will move towards the nearest objective and they'll assault anything within 12. Okay, so just before the Mechanicus moved, we were just measuring some ranges with the Genestealer Cult. Because there was a ranger here, it forced them back 9 inches away from this objective, and they're actually going to move towards that objective. That was a very interesting manoeuvre there. So the Mechanicus have moved with that in mind. We're just going to try and get away from them totally and let the Orks deal with them. That's the way we should do it. So the rangers have moved across to this gantry here, right across to the edge as far as we can go. The characters are staying tight on this objective. We don't really know what we're going to do with our lives there. We might move him a bit closer, just in case he needs to mount a charge. So he's going to go there. We've got people on the objective. Still got this machine hanging tough. Okay, and over here the infiltrators have come round. They're going to try and cut off the head of the Orks and at least take out the war boss. We're going to try our very best to do that. The Armiger, he's in good health, so he comes 14 inches under the gantry, and he's going to try and take the fight to these orcs. We need to get some objectives now to really touch and go. And the data smith, he really doesn't know what to do with his life now, so he's just walking about, just looking for some sign.
You wandered lonely as a clod.
Alright, we started shooting, and actually before we did, we healed 3 wounds on this, so it's back to 6 wounds left. It's ever living. So we started shooting. We had the ranger squad up here. They've punished the orcs down there, and we had a gamma pistol as well fired in, killed an orc. Long story short, there's only 2 orcs left. There's the boss and the guy on the objective, so he's going to have to return there to get onto the objective to keep coherency. Just really starting to punish the orcs and their objective holders. And we're going to move on to the other side of the board for more shooting. Right, I've come over here. We've had all the flechette blasters into the bike. We just want to get rid of that. He's got the most firepower, and we're going to try and get it done in combat against the boss. So we've achieved 7 wounds on the bike, and they're going to need to save on 4s. And he's failed 4. That is all it takes to blow a war boss knob off his bike. And there's a boy who got killed here, forgot to mention, by the disintegrate, the Volkite charger from the Tech Priest Dominus there, fired through, killed an orc. So the knob still stands, and now we're going to get onto the really meaty shooting. We've got a thermal spear and a melter gun at the Morgonaut. I think this is the best way to handle it. So melter gun first. Has hit. Needs a 4 to wound. Fails to wound. Right, thermal spear. 2 shots. Please do something. Oh, well that one's missed. And that one's gone off into another realm.
That is a 4.
A 4. So we've got 1 hit. We'll take your word for it. If it's a hit, we'll believe you. Right. Need a 4. And it's failed. So thermal spears haven't done anything this game. Okay, that's the end of the shooting phase. We're going to go on to assaults now. So we're going to have the armiger. It's going to go in on the orcs here. He needs a 9-inch charge to get there. To get to the man. So he's going to have to overwatch with just this orc because the knob can't see him.
Yeah. Oh, yellow dice.
Yeah. Gets a hit, of course.
No.
No, he gets a reroll because he's in a bad mood. Still doesn't get it, and then he needs a 5 to wound. Which he doesn't get, right. So we need a 9 on the dice to make this charge. We don't get it. Okay, we're going to turn to the data smith. He's going to make a charge to this unit. So there's a knob on the other side because he's not in coherency. It's a short charge to the knob, but we want to get an 8 on the dice to get to this guy. So you can overwatch first. So the knob, he's got a rocket.
Yeah. So the rocket's green.
Okay. No hits, thankfully. And then you've got a shooter from the underslung from the rocket because you can fire both in Overwatch.
Indeed. What about that?
So reroll 1s.
Nope.
No, right. So here we go. The Hail Mary needs an 8. And he doesn't do it. So he didn't do it on an 8, but he did get a 5. So he's gone in on the nearest knob that was just round the corner. And then, just to save time, we've heroically intervened with the big mech, with the with all the gubbins. Let's not beat around the bush here, he's got everything. So that fight is going to continue over there, or going to happen over there. So the infiltrators are going in on the big mech. He's going to overwatch with his dead shiny shooter. He's been good with it so far, and that trend continues. He's got 3 hits so far. So 3 rerolls of 1s. No, so 3 hits, but they are daggers. So extras. The last stand, possibly, of the big mech. And he gets an extra. Alright, so 4s, and you're needing 3s to wound with these. 3 go through, and we need to save on 5s because it's AP -1. But do save 1, but we've lost an infiltrator on the way in. Okay, over here we've had 1 character go in, and then the last surviving member of the Skitari. So he's gone in just to bring their toughness down, and the Tech Priest has gone in just to slow them down a bit. And the Warlord is going to hang on the objective. Didn't really want to commit him to the fight. He's too precious, and there'll be no one to hold the objective. Okay, we're going to start the attacks with the infiltrators. This is where it really matters. So we've lost 1, so we're down to 4, and we can reroll 1s because of our canticle that we've got going. So here we go, hitting on 3s. Reroll ones, luckily. There's 2 6s, that's a good sign. Right, there's another 6. Right, so just like Tesla, these get an extra 2 for each 6 rolled. So there's another, there's 2, there's 2, and there's 2. Alright, these are strength 6, wound on 3s. Come on, let's get them. Oh, some sly way, but that's expected. Alright, these have no AP, that's just straight up 2+ saves. It's got 3 wounds left. I'm going to hope for a sour roll from the Bad Moons.
9.
Can't the Bad Moons hang on? Yeah, that's 9 wounds he's going to have to save. Ugh, well, statistics are on his side. He's only taken 1 wound. He's got 2 left. And that was a bad round from the infiltrators that could have just poked him in the eye a bit better. Alright, going to the Data Smith now. He's in the fight of his life with the Orks. He can't attack the big mech because we didn't charge him. He's heroically intervened on us. So we've got 2 attacks. And we're hitting on 4s because it's with a power fist. We can reroll 1s because of the canticles. So he does get a hit in the end, and he needs a 3 because he's strength 6. Oh, he never does it. So let's hope for better results over here. So we're going to move on to the Genestealer. Alright, keep on asking a lot of these characters, and we're going to ask a lot again. So the Genestealer's got 2 attacks, hits on 4s with these omniscient axe. Okay, he's got 1 hit, and we're going to reroll 1s because of the canticles. He's got 2 hits, right. He is strength 5 with the axe, needing 3s to wound. We get 1 wound, it's AP -2. He's saving on a 4, and he's already taken a wound, so he's got no damage in the end. Alright, the Vanguard leader, he's going to attack with his power sword. These are down by 1 in the toughness because of his rad poisoning. So he gets 2 hits, and he needs 4s to wound. He gets 1 wound, it's AP -3, you're going to need a 5 now. And he fails, so that is a wound for this Meganob. So Meganobs have 3 wounds each. Didn't happen. Right, the Onager's lashed out with 1 hit, 1 wound on one of his kicking legs. On a 1, the knob might go down. No matter how hard we cursed it, still passed. So the Meganobs will fight. In fact, everyone will fight now. The mechanic's got nothing else to swing with. It's Orks with their power claws. So it's going to be the Knobs to fight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, so the Meganobs are going to split their attacks like this. So 3 on each unit there. So 3 on the Tech Priest first. And he gets 2 hits. Needs 2s to wound. Which he gets 2. Right, we've got Bionics, so invulnerable 6s. We'll make 1, fail another. So D3 damage. Just the 1 wound, so he will survive. And it's now 3 attacks on the Vanguard. 2 hits, 2s to wound, 2 wounds. So Bionics again on 6s. Fill them both, so he is utterly destroyed. And then 3 attacks on the Dune Crawler. Right, that's more significant now. So 3s to wound. So the impeccable roll finishes there, but still pretty good. 6s to save. No, so it's 2d3 damage. He could kill it with it, and he doesn't quite kill it. It's lucky we healed it there, because that would have killed it previously. So 3, 4, 5. He's got 1 wound left. Oh dear. Alright, so the Datasmith comes under some pressure now. So he's had 1 successful blow from the Mega Knob. We're going to have to save on an invulnerable 5. We do. And then 1 blow from the basic knob, which we save on a 2. Which we do. So he's hanging in there. He's fighting the good fight. And lastly, to fight for the Orks, we're going to have the War Boss. So 3 attacks. And he's only hit once. But could be enough. Wounds on 2. Gets it. So we've got Bionics on a 6. No. So D3 damage. We've got 2 wounds each. So if you roll a 1 like that, we will survive. It's lucky because we don't want any silly morale checks to be made there. And we'll just continue in that fight. Right, we've got some morale checks to do for the Orks here. These are fairly crucial. So he lost 1 of his squad, but he's within 3 inches of the infiltrators. Therefore, that counts as -1 on his leadership. So he's actually a 6. If he rolls a 6, that knob will run away. No, So we'll ask for a 6. He does not deliver. Right, this squad has been severely punished. So they've lost 6 and their leadership 7. So they're going to need a 1 to pass. So 5, they're both going to run away. So now that those 2 orcs have run away, this objective is now freed up, and now the fight is fair between the Dirty Smith and the big mech. Right, Orcs' turn. It's really touch and go now. Everyone's scrambling to see what they can do. So the Meganobs, of course, still locked down in combat. They're going to choose to keep on fighting there. The tank busters, they're going to stay in the tank. They just can't find opportunity there. They were going to swing around the side, but the character's still not the nearest, and they'll probably just shoot the rangers down from up top. Bit clueless on what they need to do, but they didn't want to get too close to the Tech Priest Dominus in case he charged, followed by the rangers, and flooded the vehicle. That sort of scenario. Over here, the Genestealer Cult threat has pushed the Morkanaut away, and he's gone to get the objective that was loose on the other side, the one that is less dangerous now that those orcs have gone away. So he's moved in between those sections again. He's going to get some shots off. He can just see the knight, so he's going to fire some shots off, and then some up top here. Right, the orcs have started shooting. They've had this boy here with a rocket. Won't go silently. He's fired a rocket shot at the knight. Got a hit, got a wound, so we need to save on a 5, which we do. So our armor's holding up now. Right, the Morkanaut started shooting. So the quad big shooter goes up at the vanguard. 4 wounds on these. We're going to have to save on 3s because we're in cover and we've lost 2. Big blow there. Thought they were going to go the whole game untouched. We didn't really. We knew they were going to die wholesale. So anyway, but with the big shots, everything's going into the night. You can see the front of it. So what's this?
Rockets.
2 rockets. And he's missed. Wow. And then the custom Mega Zapper, 3d6. So he's getting 2, 3, 4 shots. Yeah. So 5s to hit. He's got 2 and they happen to be daggers. And he's still terrible at rolling dice up there, so there's just 1 extra, so 3 hits. And 3s to wound. It's just absolutely crap.
The one's
so,
automatic kit.
So 2 up top. He's going to have to learn to have soft hands. And roll them up high like this. So we need saves of 6s, 5s because I've got an invulnerable 5, so just like this. No. So 2d6 damage. And this is the end. So he's taken 6 damage, and he had 7 wounds, so he's got 1 wound left. Right, last shot from the Morkanaut. He's got his custom blaster out of his belly. Let's see if he can get it on the. Yes, he did it this time, and it's a hit. Dead center. Right, needs a 3. He gets it as well. And needing to save on an invulnerable 5, which we do. Blessed by that Skitarii. So he still lives with 1 wound left. Right, so the Armiger with 1 wound left is come under fire by that 1 orc that's been in that building the entire game that I just couldn't kill in the first turn. So he's fired 3 shots and 1 is a success, which we're going to have to save on 4 for the knight. Please do it. And he saves. Right, so that would have been so insulting going down to that 1 looter in the corner that we just haven't been able to drum up any firepower to dedicate to. Right, the Rangers coming under fire from the truck this time, so 2 big shooter shots have been successful. Save on 3s. Okay, we'll lose another one. This is not good for morale. And then the rockets come through, so we are saving on 5s against the rockets. And we'll fail another 2, so this is going to be punishing when it comes time for a morale check. But we do have the Canticle to reroll failed morale checks, but still not going to be enough. We've lost half the squad there. Right, the looters in the corner building up top, they've fired again 3 shots, dedicated 3 looters to this squad, 2 looters to that squad. So a lot of shots firing 3 times. So 5 wounds on the vanguard, on the rangers rather, saving on 5s. No, 4s because we're in cover. Oh, we've saved them all. Glory. Oh, right, now for the second miracle, we're going to have to save 1 wound on the armiger from the looters in the corner. And he saves on a 4 against AP -1. He does it. The Emperor protects mostly. Alright, so for the Orks, I've just had 1 charger here. This last guy's gone into this combat to lend his weight. So he will fight first. He's got 3 attacks. And he's got 3 hits. 3's to wound. Makes 2. And we need to save on 4s. Statistically, we should save 1, please. So we do save 1, but that is infiltrated dead because 1 already had a wound. So it's now time for normal fights. Can't intervene, so it's your pick and who's going to be fighting. So we'll just keep here, in fact, so it's easier. So 3 attacks from the Big Mech. Gets 1 hit. He's finding it hard wielding that power claw around. 2's to wound. He does wound, right? We've got bionic save of 6. No, it's D3 damage. Can't afford to lose another infiltrator, and we do not. At 1 damage.
It's such a heavy claw.
Both parties have run out of command points a long time ago. Right. Alright, so we're going to fight with this mech first. We've got the sequence a bit out there because I sort of accidentally pressured him to fight with him first. So we're going to let him fight with this big mech because that was my fault. So he's going to fight with 3 attacks and he's hit with all 3. So this is a brutal fight down here, these 2. 2's to wound. And this is the end of the Data Smith. So he needs to save on invulnerable 5s unless we've spoken too soon. But we haven't. He's taken 2 go through his armour, so it's 2d3. Unless you roll poorly here, he will be smushed. And he is smushed. Big time. 5 wounds. No point of even looking at his profile. We'll know that he doesn't have that kind of weight behind him. So that's him gone. So I will be fighting next and again. So I've only got 2 fighters here. So we'll fight with him and then we'll fight with us. And that will even out the sequence there. So he's going to fight with his Omniscient Axe. And he's hit twice. 3's to wound. And we've botched it. Big time. So we're going to come over for the infiltrators, see if they can do any better and kill the warlord. Okay, back over here for the infiltrators. Here we go. Against the war boss. Right, we do get a 6 there, so that's going to counter our 2 misses because they're going to add on to there. And then we're wounded on 3s against the war boss. Right, all but 1. There's 6. He's got 2 wounds left. Average says he survives. But could he just roll a double 1 for the glory of the Omnissiah? It's just a single 1. He's hanging on with 1 wound left. We just can't kill him. Right, the Meganob's going to fight, so 3 onto the Onager since it's only got 1 wound left, and then 6 attacks onto the Engine Seer. So off you go.
6 attacks.
Yeah. So 3 hits. And 2's to wound. Gets 2. We do have bionic save of 6. No, so he's got 4 wounds left. And it's 2d3 damage. And he's dead. That is the 4 that is required. So he's gone. A little pile of cables and flesh on the floor. And 3 attacks on the Onager. And he's missed with them all. So the Onager will fight on. Let's do his attacks. So he's hitting on 5s. Has he got D3 attacks? He's probably only got 1 attack. He's got 1 wound left. And we've missed with it. So that is that. Genestealer's turn, and they're going to move. So these have got to go towards the closest objective, which is that one, and then we'll see what else happens. Okay, so the hybrids have moved over here 6. There's no one within 12, so they'll not be able to charge. The Gorgonaut is just out of 12. If he didn't move so fast, he would have been pounced on. So the shooting phase, these will fire. And the nearest unit is the Morgonaut. So we've got 2 mining lasers. Going to hit on 4s. Get 1 hit, needing 3 to wound, which we do not. And then we've got 2 grenade launchers still. 1 hits, needing 5. Gets it, so that's 4 plus save to make, not D3 damage, just the 1, and then a couple of trivial auto guns, 2 in fact. Asking the world here, 2 hits, no wounds. Okay, it's the end. Oh no, they will charge actually, because they are within 12, so I'm going to need a long dice. That's not going to cut it. They're not even going to get down on that. Right, we resolved the Overwatch from the Morganaut because of that failed charge, and 3 Genestealer Cult's dead. So they're going to have to take a morale check. So the leadership 8 and 3 plus 3 is 6. They're okay. So gonna have to do a whip round here on the objective, see what's what. Right, so that is the end of this battle round. So this is pretty good for the Mechanicus. They've been able to get their first point, but they're still behind. Orks have 2. So this one doesn't belong to anybody anymore. This one is contested, not contested, it's taken by the Dominus by himself. Over here, we'll take a look over there in fact. So over here we only lost 1, so we don't have to take a morale check, and we outnumber the Orks on this objective, so we actually take that one as the Mechanicus. And this one's taken by the Orks. So the Orks have 1, Mechanicus have 2, Genestealer Cult have 1. So 1 point for the Mechanicus, and now we need to do probably the last roll to see if the Genestealer Cults get an extra unit. So there's a dice for you, and I've got a dice here, so it's got to be lower than a 6 for another unit to turn up. So I get a 1, and you get a 1, so it was destined to happen. Let's see who takes control of the unit, then we'll see what unit turns up. So, so the Orc's going to control the fate of the Genestealers yet again. So there we have it, the Genestealers arrive. They've come out of this manhole just there, and they're in the street, ready to take the fight to this side of the board. So they will, remember, go towards the nearest objective and assault anything within 12. Okay, so this is looking like a dangerous area now, sandwiched between dangerous Genestealer Cult units. Okay, just before launching into the Adeptus Mechanicus turn, just need to do a morale check here, we forgot about that. So they lost 5, and that's a pass. Alright, the Mechanicus have got very little to fight with now. It's such a tight situation over here. We've chosen the best of a bad situation. The Dominus, he stepped back a bit. He's still within 6 and healed 2 wounds on this Dune Crawler because he's got his Warlord trait with the extended range. The Rangers have come down off high, going to try and get on this objective. We need to shoot as many Genestealers down as possible. We can't put the fire on the Orks because we're just going to have to hope that these Mega Nobs botch the rolls for the Power Claws, because this has got 3 wounds left now. It's a long shot. And over the other side, the wounded Armiger, he limps on over this way. We're not going to tangle with the Morganaut anymore. We're absolutely failed on every front of fighting that, so we're just going to go after an Ork, or perhaps the War Boss, but probably the Ork. We'll see how it goes. And these are just going to continue the fight. Right, we're going to fire pistols in combat. All the flechette blasters, we're going to fire them at the Mega Nob. Oh, not with a roll like that. Trying to put as much dice on him as possible, and that is a bad roll. Not a good start, because now we're going to need 5s. Not a sausage. Okay, it's not quite over here. Did Mechanicals earlier, and I forgot that I've got reroll 1s to hit, and I've got +1 strength. So there was 3 1s in the flechette blaster group there, which we can reroll. So we do get hits. 5s to wound. Alright, we got 2 wounds. Could this be it? It is it. Yeah. So it pays to remember your canticles, and that's what happens. So that is the Warlord kill. That's going to be a different scene now. Right, the Knight spins his gun back. He's going to have a couple of, well, 1 token shot at the Morganaut, just a parting gift for him. D3 shots, only 1. Needs a 5, he gets it. Needs a 4, doesn't get it. There we are, back to his old self. Right, we're coming over here. We're going to have all the guns from the Skitarii and Dominus into the Genestealers. So we're going to have the macro pistol first from the Dominus. We reroll ones, and we've got a good amount of hits there. It's strength 4, so we're needing 4 against Genestealers. And we get 4. So needing invulnerable 5s.
So
Everyone's
4.
starting to get worn down now. So 4 and 3 Genestealers perish in that volley of fire. So that's a good start. 3 down. Right, hold them back, says the Dominus. The cant is upon us of ultra shooting. So we've got the galvanic rifle. It's not a galvanic rifle, it's an arc rifle. Lost me mind now. 2 hits, needing 3s to wound with an arc rifle. There's 2 wounds, invulnerable 5 saves. Right, there's another 2 Genestealers. It's going well so far. We've got a phosphor blast pistol. He's hit, needs a 3. He gets another 1, so it's an invulnerable 5 save. We might clean out the Genestealers if we're lucky. There's another 1. They haven't passed 1 yet, I don't think. And then we've got 4 galvanic rifles, going to blast them. And we've hit with all 4. 4s to wound. Only 1 wound, 1 survives. No, 2 survive in the end. Right. Spoke too soon. Oh, I don't really want to assault them, but we might have to. It's a long charge, we made sure it was. Oh. Okay, so we moved straight into the fight phase, and the knight charged. We did fight him with that against that 1 orc, and we killed that 1 orc. So the Mechanicus have finally got that objective to themselves, and we killed the warlord this turn. But the fights aren't over yet. There's still another fight over in the corner with the Meganobs. Let's see how they do. Okay, so the Meganobs have fought. We've done the attacks, trying to speed things along now, and they've came across 5 wounds on the Dune Crawler. So I thought I'd be saving on 6s, and I thought it actually has an invulnerable 5 save against close combat attacks. I thought it was only against shooting attacks. So that's a blunder, and it's my fault. So I've been taking wounds there that I potentially could have saved. I can't remember what I rolled in the previous things, but if there's a time to get 5s, now is the time. It was a very good effort. We've got 3 wounds left, and 1 gets through. He's got 3 wounds left. It's going to need to be the big D3, or it's going to stand. It is the full 3. Just as we thought we were going to sly away with that cheekily, it does fold. Right, so does it explode in the sticks? Let's go out with a bang. No. We used all of our explosions in the last game. So that is gone. The Meganobs will move on. Right, the Meganobs consolidate 3 inches on towards the Mechanicus infantry. So this objective looks like it's going to fold. Right, the last thing to do for this turn is morale checks. So the Genestealers have lost 6. And 6 plus 4 is
1.
10. So the leadership 9, so they've lost 1. But 1 is still pretty dangerous. But not as dangerous as 2. Right, Orks' turn, and it looks like the end for the Mechanicus, not enough to hold them back. The truck is pulled in, it's going to shoot its rockets and everything it's got, and the Meganobs are now free to swarm into that combat. So all they need to do is take out the infantry, and they'll take that objective, if not, take the objective and kill the warlord as well, and even that front. So the Morgonaut as well, he steps to the left, he's still on the hunt for the Armiger Knight, and the big mech here goes onto this objective, so it's got this one shoot up. There's nothing I can do about that. I've hurt the Morgonaut during the game, but he's just invincible. He's getting armor panels clagged back on left, right and centre.
Oh yeah, he hasn't done that.
Which he'll do that now. So how many wounds is going to fix? The full 3, so he's now only taken 1 wound, so he's got 17 left, so a lot of work to do. If these looters want to turn onto the Mechanicus side and shoot that in the back, that'll be grateful. That's not going to happen, because over here we've got this on its last wound. We've got 3 infiltrators left, and we've still got that looter over there, so there's still firepower to come in, sandwiched between the loud and killy guns of the Orks. Okay, and speaking of this looter in the corner, he has tuned up his gun. Shot, got 2 hits, 2 wounds on the infiltrator, so we need to save on 5s, which we fill, and that's 2 damage each, so already 2 infiltrators fall. There's only the leader left, the Princeps. So now we're going to come under fire from the Morganaut. Lots of guns coming down range. Right, so the infiltrators are coming under fire from the quad big shooter from the Morganaut, and all the big guns are going at the knight and seeing that off. So we've already done the big shooters. 7 wounds on the Princeps we're going to have to save. And he is absolutely riddled, falls to the floor, unrecognisable to the machine he once was. And then we've got so 2 rockets. So 2 hits, 2 wounds. Just unbelievable shooting from the bad moons. Saves on 5, and he's gone. Even if he explodes, there's no one around anymore, and that's going to stop the Mechanicus getting line breaker because he just had his toe in. So no Mechanicus presence left anymore on this side of the board. Right, the eradication continues. The looters in the corner there firing all the way over at the infantry. 3 wounds from the def guns, going to have to save on 5s. Okay, 3 absolutely perish in that deafening blast. So the truck fires next, just a 1 wound from the big shooter, and fails. So there's another ranger gone. Okay, so we've had the Megaborealis shoot, so 2 of the actual shooters into the ranger, and then the missile or the rocket is going into the Dominus. So just 1 wound from the shooters so far, so I need to save on a 4, which you don't. So that is the squad wiped, and that's going to clear the way for the tank busters on the Dominus. But first, there's still that 1 rocket to resolve on the Dominus, so I need a 5, and he's missed. Finally, he's missed with something. So rockets at dawn, 5 rockets. And rerolls 1s because he's a bad moon, so he's got 3 hits so far. So 3 hits still stand, and he is toughness 5, so you need 3s to wound, and he gets 2. So we're saving on 4s because we have a 2+ save, and we'll save them both. So you might just stand strong here and be the only survivor. Alright, the big mech over here, he fires. He's just having a bit of fun now. So he's had the teleport blaster fire in on the cultists, killed 1, and then he fires in his gobshot thunderbus. There we go, got it right. And 8 wounds put on them, so we need to save on 5s because we're in cover. And that's the whole squad wiped. So the Genestealer unit that's been there the entire game finally crumbles. That's going to anger this mob, but they're probably out of the fight now. Okay, so the Mechanicus is down to 1 model now, and 1 model only, and it's the Dominus. So he's not going down without a fight. He's going to fire with his Volkite blaster, and he fails to hit, although we do have reroll 1s for canticles, and he still fails to hit. So the Meganobs are going to go in on an easy charge, and they get a 7. Could be more if they wanted it. So in they go. Alright, so there they are in the combat. It's going to be bloody, or it might be oily, who knows. So 9 attacks of power claws. It is a terrible roll, only 2 hits in there. Strength 10 though, wounded on 2s. And he gets 2 in the end. So we're saving on 5s because that's our invulnerable save. And we'll save them both. What a magician. Okay, the Tech Priest Dominus is going to fight with the Omniscient Axe. So he's got 3 attacks, and he's only hit once. So he needs a 3. He gets it. It's AP -2, so you need to save on a 4. Right, that is a Meganob killed because one of them already had 2 wounds, and it's damage 2. So he's slain a Meganob. And then we've got Anzian's Pseudo Genitor. So we've got the cat unit as the representation. He's going to go in there and zap the Orks. So he gets D6 attacks. So he's going to get 4 at strength 4. He's going to need to hit first on 3s. And he gets 2, and then wounded on 4s. 2 wounds at AP -1, so you got 2 save on 3s. So 1 wound from the cat unit. Well done, cat. So that is the end of the fight phase. The Dominus still holds. The Orks will be okay for the morale check with those knobs. But they do now claim that objective. They're outnumbering the Dominus on there, so they will wrestle that from his metallic hands. So he's the only model left for the Mechanicus. There's not a lot more we can do. Alright, it's now the Genestealer Cult's turn. So this unit is pretty much out of the fight. They'll go to that objective, and then they'll not be within 12 inches to charge those Orks over there, so we'll just not bother moving them. But this Genestealer, he goes 8 inches straight towards the objective, so he'll land there, and then he'll assault the nearest enemy unit, which is that Meganob. So we're going to try and get an ending here, because the Mechanicus will fold, and he will teleport out of this combat. He's just looking for his chance. So because the Genestealer is fighting the Ork Knob, he will attack first, and it's against the Knob, so I'll be rolling the dice. So Genestealer is going to hit on 3s, so he gets 3 hits, 4s to wound, 6s are nasty. So he gets 1 wound and a Rending Claws AP -1, so you save on a 3. Right, there's another wound on a Meganob, so 1 Meganob has got 1 wound left. Right, now, because it's an unusual thing, and there's kind of three players playing here, we're going to have a roll-off to see who gets to fight first between the Tech Priest and the Meganob, because normally it would be the person whose turn it is, but it's actually the Genestealer's turn. So we'll have a straight roll-off, like gentlemen. So here we go. Mechanicus get a 2. Orks get a 1. Right, so the Tech Priest will fight first. Let's see if he can get the opportunity to hit that teleport home, or will he be killed. So he's got 3 attacks as before, and he's hit with 1. Needs a 3. He gets it. Needs to save on a 4. No, that's not killed. He might just battle his way out of this fight. And then he's got Anzian Pseudogenitor, aka the cat unit. He gets 6 attacks with the cat. Come on. Fight your way out of this hell. Okay, it's hit with 4. And then wounds on 4s. With rerolls, with that relic. Only 2, and it's at AP -1, so he's not going to kill the Knob. But he had a good go. and did a wound on him. So that Knob has now got 2 wounds left, but he will fight. Is he going to fight the Genestealer, or will he seek glory and try and take the Dominus's head?
The Orky thing, seek glory, needing 4.
That's a good start. He gets 2 hits, and he's wounding on 2s. And he gets them. Right, we're going to have to lean on our refractor field. Come out of this alive, Tech Priest. Do it. For the Emperor, for the Omnissiah. He's filled them both. Alright, so it's 2d3, and Dominus has 5 wounds, so you're going to need to roll a good roll. You might kill him. And it is a good roll, so he doesn't get to hit the teleport Homer. He is slain, cut in half by the Tech Priest.
What a finale.
And he's just on the floor with ooze pouring everywhere. And now he has to fight a Genestealer. Let's see who comes out of this one. That hero Ork, can he live forever? Right, the Mechanicus have been wiped out. It's now between the Genestealer and the Ork. So we're going to settle this like gentlemen again. We're going to have a roll off to see who fights first. Genestealer gets a 4. He's pretty fast. But the Ork is faster in his mega armor. So he gets 3 attacks to try and tear this Genestealer a new one. He gets 2 hits. 2s to wound. He just gets it done. Can the Genestealer save on a 5? Oh, the Genestealer hangs in there. Attacks back 3. Gets 2. Needs 4s. Alright, he's rendered him, so you need to save that one on a 6. No, so the Ork has 1 wound left, and the Genestealer will return to the sewers to sow more.
So he's wounds up.
Yeah, sow more influence and get more cult followers than don't want to be cheap with the lives of Genestealers. He'll go out. And this cat unit, I don't know. The Orks have claimed him. He's now theirs.
The pet cat.
So that is the end of the game. The Orks were about 1 or 2 points ahead, but with the slaying of the Mechanicus, we're just going to have to fold there. Although this mission doesn't necessarily say you have to, we will. It's the honourable thing to do. So the Genestealers return to the shadows, and the Bad Moons secure this portion of Megaborealis.